Hey everyone, welcome back. Of course, the shot that I set up to make it look really nice when I started streaming is completely different than the actual shot that comes through. So I'm sorry, I got to move you guys just a little bit because I had this all set up really nicely. You weren't looking at garbage. It was just kind of me and the Viper. And shit, it is a completely. Am I using a different camera? That's what it feels like. So I apologize. I'm trying to get this right. But everything changes when you get everything set up and still, come on. You get everything set up and everything's working smoothly and you're like, "Okay, that's great. Let's stream." Stream totally different. It zoomed in on my shoulder and I'm like, "I set this shot up. I already did this. I don't understand." So I apologize, you guys. Cheers. This is my beverage of choice on New Year's Eve and pretty much any Eve, like a Saturday Eve or a Tuesday Eve. So let's see who's here. Hey, Liz. Hey, Southwest, were you early? Yeah. I promise not to go past midnight because I know everyone wants to watch that big ball drop and do the song and all that jazz. So I'll keep it simple. Plus, I don't know how many people are watching this over some trivial, disposable pop stuff that's on whatever the television stations are playing or cable or whatever. Mm. So I just wanted to do a, a quick wrap up of the year, the stuff that I've done, the stuff that the racing team's done, and kind of point out some of the high points. And of course, there were low points too, but the highs definitely outweighed the lows. Um, it was a lot of fun, but in my personal life, there were insane challenges, like just absolutely nutso stuff. So to have the cars, the racing, all of that as the outlet, the what's the best way? The positive in my life is a huge thing. You folks, also a huge part of that. So thank you for that. Far more entertaining than the ball drop. Yeah. Okay. I saw some place. I don't remember where it is. I think it's in Cleveland or it might be in Pittsburgh somewhere. They do a pierogi drop, which is kind of cool. That's definitely interesting. The building has a big, like 8-foot pierogi, and it slowly goes down like into a cooking vat or something. I don't know what it is. It's very funny. Um, so yeah, 2025 was good, and having you folks and the car stuff and the racing definitely helps me power through all of the stuff that I'm going on. So that I have going on outside of all of this, and I'm incredibly grateful for all of that. You guys are here of your own volition. No one's paying you. No one's paying me. We're doing this for fun. We're doing this to learn, and hopefully, we're having a good time at it. I've talked to a ton of people, not only here in the chat, but also in messages and emails, and I'm kind of in awe that these folks message me and tell me that what I'm doing is cool and that they like what I'm doing and that there's no bullshit and no editing and all of that. They really like that they don't miss something, and I think that's pretty cool. That always makes me feel really good. So let's see, what do we got here? So my dad said to look at the motor mounts, especially the transmission mount, because the rubber tends to snap a lot. I hope that can fix it. Yeah, engine mounts and transmission mounts, if you do them whole, are usually pretty easy to replace. If you're trying to go with polyurethane mounts, that's when you got to burn out the rubber, or drill out the rubber, or grind out the rubber, or whatever. That's when it gets into a big mess. But if you're just replacing stock with stock, it's usually pretty straightforward. I get a hair here that's driving me crazy. I don't know where it came from, too. Anyway, probably just one of my huge eyelashes. So, started off the year with prepping the car for Lemons. We had a Lemons race at Pit Race, rest in peace. And that was in April. Uh, I did make a gigantic mistake in early March when I told a friend of mine that he could use my shop to work on one of his customers' Bentleys. And it has been in my shop ever since. It now holds the record for the longest time any vehicle has been in my shop, and we are over 9 months. In about 2 weeks, it'll be 10 months that that car's been in my shop. That's a new record. That's even more than the limo. That's more than the Atom. That's more than any other car. So uh, I want to say congratulations, but it's actually been a huge pain in the dick. So we don't want to talk about that. And yes, it's still there today. Got the Lemons car prepped and raced at Pit Race. Well, just to kind of go back early in 2025, we finished at Road Atlanta. We had a really nice time at Road Atlanta racing there. Then we came back here, got the car prepped, raced at Pit Race. Unfortunately, our engine was destroyed, and that brought about a myriad of issues. Namely, I had to let go of one of our drivers. After reviewing the data and going through the video, it was pretty apparent that I'm going to keep going through engines if I let this guy keep driving. So I had to dismiss a driver, and I didn't want to do that, but I have no choice. Otherwise, I'm going to spend my entire race time replacing engines. And I don't want to do that, especially with this engine that we had in the car. It was incredibly well built. My friend Nate Millison and I made this engine absolutely perfect. It was better than OEM, and it served us very well. But when you have someone who is abusive, it's not going to last no matter who builds it. You can have Gail Banks build your engine. If you have someone abusing it, it's not going to last. So that person is no longer racing with us. They're welcome to crew, but they cannot get behind the wheel of any of my cars. No way, no how. So that part kind of sucked. And then we found out about Pit Race. Well, actually, let's go back a little bit more. My plan originally was to live stream the limo driving down here, and from Columbus, Ohio I was actually going to drive it all the way to Naples and do a big, strippers and pyro, arriving in Naples, which is always very popular in Naples. Anyway, there's a lot of money in Naples. There's not a lot of youth in Naples. So that was the original plan, was to do streams during the day, driving to like Louisville and then tail the Dragon and then do some hot laps at Road Atlanta and then, cruise to Florida. So that was my original plan. Unfortunately, with a whole bunch of other stuff that happened and the move down here, that didn't work out. My friend Michael Stack was super cool, cut me a hell of a deal on shipping the limo down here because he was coming down to pick up a boat and take the boat back up to Ohio. So he cut me a really sweet deal on bringing the limo down. And he had a lot of fun bringing it down. He got a lot of looks, did a lot of fun videos for social media, which was really cool. He and his wife are really awesome people. Highly recommended. Really good friends. So that was fun. It was nice to have the limo here because the Miata was running great. The Viper's running great. My truck was running great. I had the blue truck at the time, and sold the blue truck, which was kind of hard. I had, that truck was really, really great to me. It served me very well. I have a lot of great memories in that truck and with that truck. And so that one was kind of hard to let go. Just emotionally, it had a lot of strings attached. But the guy who owns it now, he was working for a construction company. He needed something to haul his tools and his friends around, or I guess coworkers, and it worked perfect for him. So he also had a trailer that he was towing, and he really liked the 410 in the rear. So I'm glad it worked out for him. He was very happy with it. As far as I know, he's still happy with it. He hasn't shot up my house or sent me any nasty grams. So yeah. Um, yeah, the limo came down. The limo was nice to have here because I could work on stuff pretty much full time. That car is a full time job, and whenever I would finish all my regular stuff, the the limo was always there. There was, yeah, I still have a big list on the dry erase of all the stuff that needs to get done to the limo. So having that here was something really nice to keep me busy with all the other crap going on in my personal life. Having the limo, you know, very good to have that. And tons of work got done on it in the last 6 months. So very content with where the limo's at. Top of the year, we should be cruising it around, and we should be out and about in public with it pretty soon. We'll have a chase vehicle with it the first few times you go out. Definitely, absolutely, positively taking it to Cars and Coffee, not only in Sarasota, but we're also taking it to Mercado. Um, Mercado is a very high end exotic cars and coffee in Naples, and they do it. I think they do it once a month, something like that. And uh, one of my best friends in the world, Scott, lives in Naples, and he's invited me down. He's like, "Hey, bring the Viper," and I'm like, "Hey, what about bringing the limo?" And he's like, "Absolutely, bring the limo." So Scott's super cool. I could not have done this last year without Scott. I really couldn't. He's one of my best friends in the world, and I'm extremely grateful for him. It's this transition to Florida with him and my friend Lance. It's been really they've made it very easy for me to do this transition, and um, awesome, awesome. I Yeah, totally grateful for Scott. Um, so then, since the limo was here, then we found out about Pit Race getting sold, and we all sunk into a massive depression. Um, and again, one of those things. I know Jim and Kathy who own Pit Race, and I know that whatever number that data center company wrote on that napkin was huge, because Jim already has a $1 billion company. I don't know how much it's worth. He has a huge company. So to impress Jim, you would have to have a lot of zeros on the end of that. And it's not like, um, if someone wrote me a check for $100 million for the Viper, I'd be like, oh, hell yeah. But for Jim, it would be like, we're going to need a couple more zeros on there before I even acknowledge that you're at the table with me. He's good. He's a very shrewd businessman. He's very smart. He's a very nice guy. He's an incredible driver too. So for them to accept that crazy ass offer, I totally get it. I absolutely totally get it. I'm disappointed, but I don't fault them. This is a very large amount of money. I know Jim would love to retire and just race cars and not have to do anything else. So hopefully this gets him closer. What we were all hoping for was that it wasn't going to get bulldozed, that it was just going to go to new ownership. When we found out it was becoming a data center, all of our hearts just sank, and we were all so bummed. There are groups trying to save the track, and I appreciate that, but I also am a realist, and I know that even if they come up with twice the amount of money that Jim and Kathy got paid, the data center would double that, like immediately the next day. So there's no way you're not beating out Zuckerberg. You're not beating out Sergey. You're not beating out Elon. Whoever's doing the who's the guy at Oracle? Steve something? No, it's Steve Ballmer. I forgot the guy at Oracle. They do huge data centers too. They kind of fly under the radar of like Bezos and those guys. Anyway, that was a real bummer. And the bummer is the data centers go up to make our social media lives better, right? We have YouTube, and we have, all the, Facebook and Instagram and Twitch and everything else. Those require the data centers in order for them to glean information so that they can get advertising money. That's how the data centers work. I don't know if you guys know this, but all of this shit. So everything that you're seeing in this video, everything that you post online, everything that you text, everything that you email, all of that is being used to gather information. And it might not be personal. You might just be a random number somewhere, but they're doing all of it. And the algorithm is getting stronger and stronger. Now with AI, it's just every day it's exponentially better. So I'll just give you like a really, really weird example. And all this data is bought and sold. So people buy it from whoever and they sell it to other people and they buy it and sell it. All different industries, the food industry, the healthcare industry, entertainment industry, everyone, they buy these little packets of information so they can target their advertising. And everything that you see in the picture right now is being analyzed. So my awesome Ryan Cheek Racing shirt, which Ryan Cheek, I wish you had a better result at Pikes Peak, but I'm so glad you're going back. She had an engine failure at Pikes Peak this year. Definitely go support her and Kyle and their quest to get up to Pikes Peak. But it recognizes this and everything I'm saying. So all the words that are coming out of my mouth. So if I say, we used to have a joke in the shop, big boobs, Brazilian butts, bunt cakes, and then see what happens with our email and with the advertising that shows up in our social media feed. That was kind of the running joke at the shop in Ohio. So for me, it never happened. I never saw any of those. But all of this stuff, everything you see in this picture, all the words out of my mouth, all the audio, the clock ticking in the background, the air handler, it's picking up all of that and it's figuring out what information it can use. Oh, Kevin obviously likes black. He likes the color silver. Oh, he wears jeans. Oh, he has a microphone. Oh, he has a Miata because there's a hard top. Oh, look at the chain on the door. So he doesn't want the door to swing open, so it must be windy where he's at. Oh, there's a folding chair over there and there's an air jack. Oh, are those race ramps? All of that stuff, hey, there's a garage door and there's a water filtration system. Maybe he needs a new water filtration system. We're going to send him an ad for XYZ water filtration. So these are all the things that those data centers pick up. All that gets compiled and then ads are targeted to you. It gets sold, obviously, and then ads are targeted to you regarding that. And that's how that works with everything. So it picks up every little detail, and it's getting better and better and better. And those ads are getting closer and closer and closer. Before it was like, hey, do you need, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something crazy obscure. Do you need a 28-foot ladder? Because we carry ladders. Not really. Now it's like, hey, we see you bought a house. You might need a 12-foot ladder. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe I do. That's how those work. That's how that algorithm works, that data collection. And earlier this year, Facebook started deleting videos that Facebook was hosting. They started deleting those videos because they're taking up a ton of room. And what Facebook was doing was gathering all the data from those videos and over the 30-day period, then they delete them because they don't need it anymore. And they don't want to give you free storage. So they need that room for more data, more algorithm, all of that stuff. Just so you guys have a heads up that there's a saying, if it's free, that means you're the product. And that holds true with social media across the board. So yeah, if it's free, you're the product. And same thing with your cell phones, your laptops, everything else. They're doing it, and it's next to impossible to stop it. If you try to live online without giving them any information, it's nearly impossible. It's nearly impossible. They get something in return for doing what they're doing. So we want to have all this kick-ass online stuff. We want to live stream our races. We want to put up all the pictures from when we were racing at VIR and all of this, but we don't want data centers taking away our tracks. That's the catch. Now, unfortunately, Pit Race was in a prime location, and if you look at what the company is doing, the data center company, they're buying all the land around Pit Race too. Pit Race has a huge water tower, and data centers love water. Since they have a private water tower, it's an optimal location. They're up on a hill, high security. They have access to a massive substation less than a mile away. It's pretty optimal location. Thankfully, tracks like VIR and Mid Ohio, stuff like that, they're not really in optimal locations like that. So hopefully we don't lose any more tracks to data centers. This is kind of a one-off thing. Oh, we got messages popping up here. That Bentley is going to grow roots soon. No, it won't. Shamrock Towing will help it not grow roots. Yeah. Ryan's quest to get up to the top of Pikes Peak, she's been going for the last couple of years, and she's awesome. She does a ton of stuff with SCCA, and her quest to get up Pikes Peak in the cross cart is one of those cool things. You can't help but be inspired. This mom from North Carolina is gonna get in a cart and go 100 miles an hour up this mountain. She's got an awesome husband that backs her up 100%, and she has killer sponsors that love what she does. And she goes out and she promotes not only herself but a lot of grassroots racing. She's also done a ton of women in racing and supported girls that are up and coming, and also established women in racing, which is a big thing for me. I love seeing when women get into racing and put helmets on. That's always a good thing. I'm trying to do it with my team and my cars with Lemons. Hopefully this coming year, 2026, we have a all female team, crew, drivers, team captain, everything. That's what I'm hoping for. So we'll see what happens with that. What time are we at? Okay, we've still got 15 minutes. So that's one of the things we have to look forward to. What else happened? Data center. We had my birthday, which was okay, and then went to the Freedom Factory, the Ultima 600 race at the Freedom Factory, and absolutely lost my mind. I'm like, this is so much fun. This is so silly. And I was in the pits, and I got to talk to Speedy Cop, who's a fantastic guy. And Speedy Cop got me, I hate to say it, up to speed, but he got me all the information needed to race in this. So the next time that they were racing, I waited until the registration opened, and 2 minutes later I was in, and I had a ticket to go race at an Ultima. I didn't even have one at the time. Now I have an Ultima, and we're going to go race it next month on the 17th at Freedom Factory, which will be a lot of fun. This will be my first time at an oval, and this will be my first race at Freedom Factory. But thankfully, I have Speedy Cop to shadow, so I don't, miss meetings or, you're going the wrong way, that sort of thing. So I'm very grateful for Jeff for Speedy Cop to help me out with that. And thanks to my buddy Jesse for introducing me to Speedy Cop, which is very helpful. Let's see what else. So that's been the focus actually the last probably month or two. Going back and forth to Ohio. My son got married. Let's see, earlier this month. Yeah, earlier this month, and I was back in Ohio for that, which was pretty nice. It snowed during the wedding and the reception, which was really beautiful. And the rest of my trip sucked, but that night was pretty good. I had 5 or 6 hours. That was pretty good. And then back here and picked up the Ultima, brought it back down here, and now we're gonna go race the Ultima. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Oh yeah, the Tail of the Dragon. Thanks, Liz. I totally forgot about that. Tail of the Dragon with the Viper guys was so much fun. Um, Running with the Batshit Crazy group is always a great time. And with rain and stuff, we did our best with weather. Liz came down. What'd you take? Like 3,000 pictures over the weekend? Like 3 days, 4 days? An insane amount of pictures. She got a ton of great pictures of all the cars. She snuck into the garages at like 2 in the morning and was taking pictures of cars. It was cool. A lot of cool stuff. And all of those people, they're really great friends. And a lot of them I've known a very long time. So I'm excited to go back. And we talked about it at the Christmas party, the Florida Viper Christmas party last weekend. Was it last? Yeah, it was last weekend. We talked about Tail of the Dragon and going earlier, even earlier this time, and taking motorcycles so that we can ride some of the other roads. Angel wants to bring his Harley. A couple of the other guys want to bring their bigger road bikes. So we might take the Grom, or I'll take the NC 700 and do some fun roads up there with that. So we get the full experience, the motorcycles and the cars all in the same. Last year we took 5 days, so we might do a full 7 days this time. We had 5 days, but one day was like total driving. And it was supposed to be 12 hours, turned into 17 hours. So yeah. 3,500 pictures just on the DSLR. I don't know how many you took on your phone. So that was cool. Yeah, the Tail of the Dragon weekend is a ton of fun. We do a load of driving, a lot of driving. And of course, we do the speed limit the entire time, 35, 45 miles an hour. If you believe that, I have a bridge for sale. So lots to look forward to in 2026. We have the 24 Hours of Daytona, which is coming up next month, which is right after the race at Freedom Factory. We have Sebring that's also coming up, which is pretty much right after Daytona. And then, in April, we have Lemons at Mid-Ohio. We'll be running 2 cars, number 70 and number 700. The MR6 will be number 700 again. The Monza will be number 70. And we're going to run 2 cars, 2 teams, 4 drivers per car, and we should have a really good time. I know Mid-Ohio pretty well. Some of the other drivers know Mid-Ohio really well, so we should do all right in that race. Top half of the pack, I'm hoping for, and we have some really reliable cars. So once we get the Bentley out, we can get those cars fully prepped and ready to go. The MR6 is really close. We just have to swap seats, and the Monza needs a fuel pump, fire suppression recertification, and the new seat put in, and some tires. So the Monza is very, very close too. So those cars will be ready to go. I think we have some themes lined up too, which would be really fun. And hopefully you guys enjoy those themes. I'm still working on a theme for the Altima. I don't really know kind of what I'm going to do with it. And also, since it's already sold, I don't know how much, I want to super theme it and then have to come back and clean all the paint and stuff off. We'll see what happens. That's going to be a game time decision. That'll definitely be a game time decision. So the other fun part has been watching this channel grow, and also my personal channel. When I put all the guitars up, all the videos for the guitars, the digital history stuff, people really like those, which is cool, but that's something different than the cars. And then watching this channel grow and you guys coming in and asking a myriad of questions that are all really great, and reminding me about stuff that I forgot, which is awesome too. And kind of joining me on this trip to, have fun, educate people, and do a shitload of racing. That's the trick. And like I tell everyone, it's worse than heroin, man. Once you get out on track, it's so addicting. It's so addicting. I can't explain it. I don't know what it is. It's got to be worse than crack. I've never done crack, so I don't know. Yeah, the stuff with Bob was awesome. And Bob recently moved. He moved from Fort Myers back up to the Nashville area. He's doing a whole other, he's still doing his voiceover stuff, but he's doing a whole other business with his wife, a secondary business, which is really cool. He got a really great opportunity and he's ripping it. So that's an awesome move for Bob. His place down here was cool, but those opportunities come up. You got to take advantage of it. All right, so we got 10 minutes left. If there's anything that you guys specifically remember from any of the live streams or any of the racing stuff that we've done, and you want to put it in, comments below about the cool part for you in 2025 from this channel was seeing XYZ. Put that in there. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'd love to hear what you guys liked seeing. And if there was something you didn't like, hey, stop doing shit like this and don't do any more ABCs, whatever. Let me know, and I'll just cut that stuff out. It's real easy to remove stuff, real easy. But yeah, that's kind of it. I'm really thankful for everything that you folks have done. Being here with me through all of these projects and keeping me sane through all of this is a big thing. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm very appreciative, and I'm lucky that I have a really good group of extremely close friends that, when I question stuff, they rip me right back up. I mean, my friend Katie, I could tell her anything and somehow she will spin it into something positive or make sense of it. Like, I don't understand why any of this. And she's like, oh, well, it's because of this. And, these two things go over here. And, oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I get it now. Yeah. So it's great to have friends like that. Let's see who else we got here. Hey, Tress. No fireworks tonight. Although, wait, how do you do fireworks on here? I don't remember. Is it? There's fireworks. Those are the fireworks night. Also, there's a fireworks ban here in Southwest Florida because we haven't had any rain in a couple of months, like no rain. So it's super, super dry. And a bunch of sheriff's offices posted that there's a fireworks ban. But down here we have boats that do lighted parades. So from Tampa Bay to Naples, there's probably, I don't know, probably 30 different places that have boat parades with lights, and you can go do that, which is, it's kind of cool. I know a lot of people who do that. They go down to the dock and have dinner and watch the boat parade cruise by, which is pretty cool. But yeah, there's no fireworks. I did hear gunfire way off in the distance, not in my neighborhood, probably offshore somewhere. So yeah, someone's doing some kind of fireworks somewhere. Resolutions, more racing. That's my resolution for next year. Put my helmet on way more times. That is it. I only got it twice last year, or 3 times last year. I'd like to do it 8 times this coming year. So we'll see how that goes. And with 2 cars, hopefully we can do that. Yeah. It's harder when you don't have pit race because that's one track where you can do a whole bunch of stuff, not just lemons, but SCCA, NASA, Champ Car, Grid Life. You can do all that stuff there, but it's gone. So that makes it a little more difficult. But yeah, that's my only resolution is more racing, and get a better live streaming setup so that mics don't bomb out and cameras actually look like how you set them up before you fire them up again. So we'll definitely do that. It's a logistics thing. It's a time thing. So trying to get to all the events, and then it's a lot of, when you have a race team, it's a lot like herding cats, because A lot of this is volunteer, so you have to ask people, hey, do you want to come racing with us at Mid-Ohio in April? And you send out 10 invites and one person replies. So then you have to keep going and keep going. So it's a lot of logistics and cat wrangling. But once you get the group together, everyone's really solid, the communication's super tight. It just takes a little while to, you know, squeegee everybody into the same puddle. And that's probably the hardest part when you're doing team stuff like that. That's probably the hardest part. After you get the group together, it's pretty seamless and pretty painless. Yeah. It's not so much challenging to get entered. The Ultima 600, the stuff at the Freedom Factory is hard to get into because they have very limited number of entries and they go so fast. It's an incredibly popular event, and the Danger Ranger 9000 sells out in like 5 minutes. They only have 100 entries, or no, they have 60 entries. I don't remember what, but it sells out almost immediately. And then the Ultima 600, it sells out maybe in 10 minutes. So this stuff, the entries go away very, very quickly, very quickly. So you got to be on it. The other stuff, Lemons, they give you plenty of heads up, and you go and register early. And then if your car's not ready or your team, everyone goes to jail, you can actually withdraw your entry and not get charged anything. So Lemons works pretty different. SCCA, NASA, same kind of thing. There's schedules, so you'll put it on the schedule where you're going to go race an ST6. You register, you pay for it, you already have the date. There are limited numbers in there, but it's except for Spec Miata and M-Spec, it's usually not packed. So you can get in there. Let's see, Southwest, what do you got? Should get an Insta360 and car mount to start an IG account for driving or roller equipment. I don't know what roller equipment is. Yes, Truss, your question, am I staying full-time in Florida? Yes, I'm full-time down here. There'll be trips back to Ohio to do race car stuff, but this is where I'm at. Just get roller equipment for shooting rollers. Insta360s. God, they're cool, aren't they? But depending on how much media you're going to be doing, I would say a couple of GoPros in strategic locations. That's probably a better way to go. Insta360 is kind of, I don't want to say it's one shot. It is a 360 shot, and you can reuse different angles. But I don't know. I would do a couple of GoPros in strategic locations on the car, just so you can get kind of cooler views. Back here, the fender rolling down. Oh crap, you guys! It's almost midnight. We got to go. Yeah, look at a couple of GoPros instead. Don't forget to show someone that you love them today. Give them a kiss on the cheek. Give them a kiss on the tip of their nose. Hold their hand. Give it a squeeze. It's really important for them, but it is far more important for you. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out tonight, and I hope you had fun in 2025. We're going to have a blast in 2026. So go watch the ball drop. You've got a minute left. Thanks, everyone. We will catch you tomorrow. We'll be doing more Ultima stuff. Have a great night. Happy New Year, everyone. Woohoo! Ball drop.